if you've ever thought about constructing and using your own raised beds for a garden and you just thought it was too difficult, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it and what to fill them up with and how to make a raised bed in a very simple way. And you can't believe the amount of problem solving that a raised bed can have. We've got a large garden at home. Ours is about 5,000 square feet, but we're dealing with clay soil sometimes and always dealing with rocks, and it doesn't always drain out the way it's supposed to. So a traditional garden is wonderful because it's big. You can grow a lot of different things there. If you've got the space, it works great. If you don't have the space, or you're having a hard time with your soil or with rocks or other problems, raised bed might just be the solution for you. There's a lot of different ways you can build raised beds, and you can do it with timbers or wood, you can do it with stones, you can do it with metal. There's a lot of different ways. I'm going to show you a really simple one, and it's made with these braces that are very decorative, really nice heavy-duty steel, been welded, little decorative pieces cut out, and they come in a lot of different styles. And they come in this nice little box like this. So basically all you have to do is decide how long your timbers are going to be. If you want a raised bed that's 4 feet wide and 8 feet long, you just cut your timbers to 4 feet and 8 feet, and everything just fits right together. So I would recommend, if you're going to do timbers, that you do either redwood or cedar, because they're going to hold up much longer. They don't need to be treated. They're weather and water resistant, and they work really well. Otherwise, you could use some of the new composite materials like the Trex or a lot of those recycled materials. They'll work really quite well as well. But with these, they just slide together, and you just put two 2x6s on top of each other, and all of a sudden you've got a 6-inch tall raised bed. So I'm going to show you how that works here in the back. So it's got a corner with just a brace there in the center, and then when you put your piece of wood in there like that, you can actually bolt them together if you need to. You don't even have to bolt them, because they're going to stay nice and snug inside your raised bed. So very simple, very easy way to do it, but you can make it whatever size you want as long as you've got the corners to put it together with. We could do a 12 by 12, you could do a 2 foot by 4 foot, whatever size works for you on the raised beds. Now the best part about raised beds is it really gets the soil up off the ground, and so it heats up a lot quicker in the springtime, and will stay warm a little bit longer into the fall as well too, because it's up off the ground. But it also creates great drainage, and so all that extra water that it doesn't absorb, it runs out through the bottom, and you get good drainage, and your plants will actually perform better with better drainage. You don't have rocks in there, and we can create our own soil so that it can be the most nutritious, best soil for your plants possible. Now in our raised beds that we've built at home, and we've worked with raised beds for many years as well too, in our own yard, we started off with about 50 to 60% topsoil. So we just went to one of the topsoil providers in the valley and got a nice sifted topsoil, didn't have any rocks in it, had a little bit of compost put in with it. We started with about 50 or 60% of that. Then we added some peat moss, so just a good soil amendment that's going to help it retain moisture. So we just added some peat moss to that mix. We also added a bunch of different composts. So we did a little bit of steer compost, a little bit of poultry compost, and we worked that in as well too. One of my favorites is our soil building compost. It's a finely ground redwood bark that's been composted with poultry manure and bat guano and worm castings and kelp meal, and it's just like the best stuff ever. We put about probably 25–30% of that into our raised beds as well too. And then you can add other materials as well. Coconut coir, excellent way to boost your water absorbing ability of the soil. A coconut coir is just a finely shredded exterior of the coconut. Works awesome, and it holds moisture like crazy. Vermiculite is also a great way to help it retain more moisture, but also helps with drainage. So vermiculite's just expanded mica, and then perlite really helps with drainage also, and it also does hold a little bit of moisture since it's got lots and lots of little holes in it. It has some surface tension, and it'll actually absorb and hold water in the perlite as well too. The other amendment that would be great would be like some zeolite. Zeolite is also very porous like the pumice, but will really hold the moisture and keep that drainage working really well for your soil, and so that it will hold the right amount of moisture but allow the excess to drain out as well too. So there's a lot of different amendments you can put into your raised beds, a lot of different ways that you can build raised beds, but just remember the benefits are faster. You can protect it a little bit easier through the cold part of the spring. You can put them in smaller locations, so it'll work well in a small yard or even on a patio that you didn't think you could garden on before. Fewer rocks, better soil warms up quicker, really good drainage. The raised beds really have a lot of benefits that might make your garden much more successful than you've been in the past.